Welcome back to the Sports Source. The segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Homeowners know the importance of a good pest control company. Once you find a good one, you stick with them. Well, the best one I've ever found is Southeast Termite and Pest Control. They've been around since 1971. They remain East Tennessee's largest locally owned pest control company. Everybody else, they sell out. So when you work with Southeast Termite and Pest Control, you spend money with them. The money stays right here in East Tennessee, stays in the community. It's a good family-owned business too. The Haynes family, really, really great people. SoutheastTermite.com for you to learn more. I can't say enough good things about them. They do a great job with my home. I know they will for you too. Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right, before the show, we filled out our own ballots here to see how the SEC ranks in our eyes after the bowl games. And I want to see where we put Tennessee. So let's take a look at this very quickly here. We got Georgia number 1, of course, national champions. Alabama number 2. Ole Miss 3rd. Then it got kind of interesting. Arkansas 4th. That's a 9-4 team. A&M 8 wins, and they were 5th. Kentucky 10-3, and we ranked them 6th. Is that? Do we think before we get to Tennessee being 7th? Do we just not take Kentucky seriously because it's Tennessee, and and Tennessee usually beats Kentucky? Is that in our heads?
Yes.
Is Kentucky really just the 6th best? If you put in the way I wanted to do this, if Kentucky's on the field with Texas A&M, who wins? If Kentucky's on the field with Arkansas, who wins? According to that, we think Arkansas and A&M would both beat Kentucky. Do we think that?
I do. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's a
Well, I
West
know
bias. You
individually.
just think the West is better, don't you? I mean, so I think
It's deeper.
yeah, the temptation is to rank those a little bit higher because you think that division's better.
Yeah, I gave a Western Division boost in my ballot.
I did too. Yeah. Sorry, Kentucky.
So it's a Chucky C-Note booster shot. That's what you do.
Well, somebody out there saying, well, Tennessee beat Kentucky. How can they be ahead of them?
Tennessee, oh, there you go. That's good. Yeah, Tennessee 7th, Mississippi State 8th, South Carolina. We had somebody that had Mississippi State 13th out of the 14 teams.
Wow.
They went to a bowl game.
Well, I think South Carolina's high at 9.
Okay. Well, they had finished with the same record as Tennessee, and they won their bowl game.
Okay.
I'm just playing devil's advocate over here. Tennessee 7th. Is that where we think they're about midway through? They're about midway point of the SEC. We agree with that?
Yeah.
As
I think so.
As individuals, that's our group. Pick. So I know we agree as a group, but do we agree individually? 7th.
Yeah, I mean, I think where Tennessee was, they went, lost their bowl game, but I thought they played pretty well. Obviously the offense did what you wanted it to do until right at the very end. So, yeah, I kind of think that's where they were. They were very middle of the pack, surprisingly good middle of the pack as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I still think that's a positive year to be middle of the pack, considering everything that they had inherited that was going in the opposite direction.
I had them at 7. I gave them the edge over Mississippi State. Mississippi State was pretty embarrassing in their bowl game. They didn't really show up or prepare for it. The one thing that's interesting that I was thinking about when you were showing it was if Tennessee wins that game and get to 8 wins, if everything else plays out the way it was, how high would we have risen Tennessee up that list?
I would have just put them up one more spot.
Really?
I would have put them ahead of Kentucky because I still, just watching the other teams, I just thought that Arkansas looked a little bit more complete.
But they were
A&M
playing
gets
Iowa.
a boost because they beat Alabama, in my mind.
Yes,
I was like,
exactly.
okay, if I've got tiebreakers here, A&M didn't, and they didn't have a great, I mean, considering you beat Alabama, you shouldn't have finished 8-4.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of wonder how close did our list mirror what like the bowls would have picked those teams if you were drafting or if you were picking a team to go to this bowl or trying to slot them. I think that's pretty close to what it would have been.
See, I thought
Very
a
good.
great bowl would have been Tennessee and Mississippi State.
We need John's
That
plan
one would
a
have been-
free-for-all
it's the
before we can
free-for-all,
get that.
the bowl draft. All right, when we come back, let's talk about where Tennessee should be ranked going into next year. Should they be? A lot of people have them way up there, and some people don't have them ranked, and that's led to some outrage. So we'll debate where the Volunteers should be going into Josh Heupel's year 2. That's next. Come on back on the Sports Source.